Cary Christopher reveals how many episodes he has left on Days of Our Lives, in the hallowed soundstage corridors of Days of Our Lives, where the whispers of decades-old secrets seem to seep from the walls. An actor's final contract is often treated with the hushed gravity of a state secret. Departures are cloaked in ambiguity, exits often sprung as shocking plot twists. But Cary Christopher, the charismatic actor who brought the complex, beloved character of Leo Stark to flamboyant, scheming life, is boldly rewriting that script. In an exclusive and surprisingly philosophical conversation, Christopher doesn't just reveal the number of episodes he has left. He unveils a radical, participatory approach to his farewell, challenging the very nature of how stories and their tellers part ways. 37, he says, a calm, knowing smile playing on his lips. We're seated not in a sterile PR office, but in his vibrant, art-filled home studio. 37 episodes of Leo Stark, in the can, waiting for their moment in the sun. And then, curtain call. The number hangs in the air, specific and weighty. In soap opera time, it's a runway of roughly 2 months, a countdown clock now ticking loudly for fans. But for Christopher, this isn't an end foretold by backstage drama or creative dissatisfaction. It's a consciously designed sunset, an experiment in narrative transparency. We live in an era of consumable ownership, he explains, gesturing to a shelf lined with classic film literature and modern tech journals. Fans binge, they dissect, they theorize. The relationship between viewer and story is interactive, almost collaborative. So why, when it comes to an actor's journey with a character, must it be a silent, sudden severance? I knew my timeline. The producers and I designed a magnificent, very Leo exit arc. And I thought, what if we shared the map? This sparked what Christopher calls the final fling. On his personal social media channels, devoid of NBC branding, he has begun a parallel, meta-narrative. He doesn't post spoilers, but he posts context. A photo of a particularly extravagant costume with the caption, "Wore this in episode 7 of my final 37. Leo would call it divine tragedy. I called it itchy." A video of him learning a surprisingly tender piece of piano music, noting, "This melody appears in episode 22. Leo's softer side isn't a myth, it's a buried treasure. It's an invitation to a different kind of viewing," he says. You'll watch the episode air, caught up in the plot, the blackmail, the one-liners, the Salem chaos. But for those who are on this journey with me, there's a second layer. You'll know that when Leo sheds that very specific tear in episode 31, it was the last scene I filmed with my dear friend, co-star. You'll know that the seemingly throwaway line about building a castle out of memories in episode 15 was a tiny gift I wrote for the fans. The emotion on screen is real because the goodbye happening around the screen is acknowledged. This blurring of lines between actor and role, between off-camera reality and on-camera fiction, is a risky creative gamut. Does it threaten the magic? Christopher argues it enhances it. Leo Stark is a masterpiece of artifice. He uses performance as a shield and a weapon. So, there's a beautiful irony in me, Cary, performing the role of an actor leaving a show with intentionality. It's not breaking the fourth wall, it's building a gallery around it where we can all appreciate the architecture. The architecture of his exit, he assures, is pure Days of Our Lives. It's campy, it's dramatic, it's got heart, and it leaves every door imaginable and a few unimaginable ones wide open. Ron Carlivati, head writer, has crafted something that honors Leo's legacy while giving me, as an actor, a runway to flex every muscle. Comedy, pathos, villainy, vulnerability. He hints at returns of fan-favorite characters from Leo's past and a final scheme so audacious it could only be born in Salem. But the true revelation isn't in the plot details, it's in the process. Christopher has used his episode countdown as a framework for public gratitude. Each week, he highlights a different department, lighting, wardrobe, makeup, the script supervisors, calling them the real architects of Salem. These 37 episodes are a tapestry they've helped me weave. I want the audience to see the threads, to appreciate the hands that hold this incredible, decades-long story together. The reaction from the Days fandom has been seismic. The typical anxiety over a favorite character's departure has been mixed with a unique, shared celebration. Online forums are abuzz not just with what will happen, but with how are we feeling about episode 5/37. Watch parties are being planned for his final air date, framed not as a funeral, but as a premiere. For Christopher, this is the ultimate creative act, transforming an ending into a new kind of connection. "We're so afraid of goodbyes," he muses, looking at a vibrant, abstract painting on his wall. "We see them as a failure of continuity. But what if a goodbye is just a different form of attention?" For these 37 episodes, I am asking for a more profound attention, not just to Leo's antics, but to the art of leaving itself, to the love that goes into crafting even the most ridiculous moment of daytime drama. As our conversation winds down, he reflects on the legacy of Leo Stark, a character who arrived as a troublemaker and carved out a space as an icon of self-acceptance and resilient wit. "Leo taught me that authenticity is the most compelling performance of all. So it feels only right to leave authentically, with transparency, with gratitude, and with one last, fabulous, shared spectacle." With 37 episodes left, Cary Christopher isn't just riding off into the sunset of soap opera history. He's holding the door open, inviting everyone to step through with him, turning a private exit into a public, creative festival. He's proving that in the world of storytelling, how you leave can be just as groundbreaking and just as creative as how you arrived. The countdown isn't just a tally of endings. It's a calendar for a collective, celebratory wake for a character who wouldn't have it any other way. The final scene has yet to air, but the curtain is already up on a whole new show.